Not every blowout means dominance. Not every coverage breakdown is a mistake, and not every championship game is decided by who's more talented. Football is decided long before the scoreboard tells the story. And that's what we're here to talk about today. Welcome back to the Trust Troupey Podcast. Hello, everybody! Welcome back to episode 2 of the Trust Troupey Podcast. I'm your host, Christian Troop. If you are new here, I came from TikTok. Troopy Whoopy on TikTok. I came from TikTok. This is a football podcast. You're going to get everything football. NFL, college football. You might not get CFL. You might not get UFL, but you're going to get every narrative and everything football that I possibly can. That's exactly how we're going to do this podcast. So if you're new here, please follow on all platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, everything that you can think of. This podcast is out on. Please go follow. Please go get right. But let's waste no time today. The national championship happened on Monday. And all I can say is what a game. IU won the national championship. IU gets the job done. They get it done. I'm not going to say too much. Y'all know how I feel about IU, but I'm not going to say too much. They won it nonetheless. But let's talk about the game itself. Great game. IU went up early. Miami stormed back. People thought Miami was going to lay down in this game. They didn't. Miami did not lay down. They stayed resilient. They did their thing. Yeah, Miami did their thing. I was very shocked. I was not shocked. I was very, very happy to see that they didn't lay down because people thought they were going to. There was a bunch of narratives spewing around that Miami couldn't compete and they just shouldn't show up. They gave them a hell of a ball game. It came down to the last drive of the game. Carson Beck throws a pick to end his career. How fitting. How fitting. We've seen Carson Beck's career. He didn't lose much in college, but there were games where those games that he lost, it was just inexcusable from him. And it came down to this in this national championship, and IU wins it. But nonetheless, everything that I said was going to happen in the game happened. Let's think about this. I said Miami's going to be able to run the football for the majority of the game they were. I said Miami was going to be in the backfield all game. They were going to be on Fernando Mendoza's ass. They were all game. I said, the quick screen passes, that all of those is going to affect IU at some point. It did. And then I also said IU was going to be able to run the football. They were. I said IU was going to come and show up on defense. They absolutely did. And then last but not least, I said this was going to be a one-possession game. And it was. Obviously, I got bombarded in my comment sections acting like I was wrong about everything. That just shows me that some of y'all don't be watching these damn videos. Some of y'all don't be watching the full clips. I told y'all exactly what was going to happen. And now I just chose the wrong team, so y'all fixated on that. But regardless, shout out to IU. They kind of showed something a little bit. They're one of the first teams to win a national championship with a very low blue chip ratio. That's good shit. That's coaching. That's Signetti. That's Signetti developing people. That's Signetti saying, hey, I'll take what you didn't want and I'll develop them. You know what I mean? But the narratives around this shit, ooh boy. The narratives around this shit, there's people talk about IU the best team ever. No. Me personally, I ain't got them top 10. I'll put them top 15. I don't have them top 10. Listen, IU proved something this year that the talent discrepancy isn't as big of a deal. But the teams in the past, it was a big deal. And those teams had ass loads of talent. Ass loads of talent. So yes, it matters to some degree when we're talking about those past teams. This year it didn't, and IU kind of proved something with that. But let's get something straight. I am sick and tired of the they didn't want me narrative. I'm sorry, I'm sick and tired of it. I am a firm believer that, yes, people can pass you up. People can make a mistake. But this whole everybody didn't want me narrative, everybody just passed up on me, I'm sick of it. And I'm sick of it because sometimes it's true, sometimes it's not. Sometimes you just weren't good enough. Sometimes you were overlooked because you weren't good enough. But now you got a coach that made you good enough. It's that simple. Not everything has to be nuanced. Not everything has to be, oh, this comeback story. That's why I'm sick and tired of hearing this IU story about how they're underdogs and everything. In every game in the playoffs, they were favored. I'm sick. In every game in the playoffs, they were favored. So where's the underdog story? Where is the underdog story that people were talking about? Yes, I understand it's coming from years prior. They weren't nothing. They didn't win any games. They were fucking trash. And then they picked it up after Cignetti came here. But this whole underdog narrative this year, no, you were undefeated. You were undefeated. You were favored in every single game. So can we stop with this nobody wanted me narrative? Oh, you went to JMU, you still went D1. Oh my God. Maybe it's just me. And I could be hating here because y'all know how I feel about IU fans. But come on, man. Nobody wants to hear that shit. I'm tired of hearing Fernando Mendoza's story. Let's move on. How many times are we going to push the Fernando Mendoza LinkedIn story? Do we actually believe that motherfucker only was on LinkedIn? Hell no. But it was a good narrative to push. It was a good story to push. So they milked it. They acted like everybody cared about that. Quite frankly, I cared about two things about his story. One, the shit about his mom. Oh my God. When he gave that speech at the Heisman, I almost cried because of the fact that he was like, yeah, my mom's my greatest, my hero. That's who I do this for. That I was like, okay, yeah, I got you. Tearjerker on that one, 100%. But everything else I don't care about. I don't care that he went to school in Miami and Miami didn't want him. I don't care that he went to Cal and played D1 football. I don't care that he went and played with his brother. I don't care about anything else. I don't. I really don't. Y'all gonna force this boy upon me, huh? Damn. IU wins the national championship. Oh, they are in the top 10 team of all time. They had a great run, and we can keep it like that. We can say they had a great season and they won a national championship without furthering the narrative. We do not have to sit here and act like they're a top 10 team. We don't. We do not have to sit here and act like this is the greatest team ever, because they're not. We don't have to put them in the same conversation as LSU, because they're not. Yes, Joe Burrow was throwing to this guy and this guy and this guy. He still threw for 6,000. I'm sorry. We got to keep it a buck. We got to keep it a buck. We do not have to create a narrative out of everything. We don't. We can keep it straight, simple. We can keep it straight like that. He won a national championship. He was the Heisman winner this year, and we could keep it straight like that. We could keep it straight like that. We don't have to make any other conclusions. We really don't. But nonetheless, IU did some good things this year, man. IU did some good things this year. There's a couple of players that were exciting as hell to watch all year. I liked watching D'Angelo Pons. I like watching Elijah Surratt. Kamara was an absolute dog. Becker came on at the end of the season, you know? It was a good team. Very disciplined team. You could tell they were disciplined. You can tell that Cignetti made that a focus. Cignetti was like, hey, we ain't gonna out-athlete these guys. We ain't gonna out nothing these guys. One thing we can't out any team on is physicality and discipline. And that's what they honed themselves on. Hey, we're gonna be more physical than you. Hey, we're not gonna fuck up. We're going to be as disciplined as we possibly can. Now, this was probably Indiana's worst game they played, but they got it done. They gritted it out, and it came down to special teams, special players, special plays. It came down to special teams. I don't want to hear anybody ever say that special teams don't matter. That shit 100% matters. The national championship game was decided by special teams. It took one missed block by a Miami player on a punt deep in their territory. That was the difference in the game. That was the difference in the game. Yep. That's all it took. Special teams matters, man. Special teams is huge. Special teams matters, bro. Please do not ever tell me that it doesn't matter again, because it does, man. It always will. There were times in college that a team would get outgained. D3, I'm talking D3, obviously. A team would get outgained by 200 plus yards. A team would get outgained by a bunch of rushing yards. They got thrashed offensively, but that other team blocked 3 punts and they won 35-14. Special teams matters, people. Special teams matters, bro. And my college coaches used to emphasize this on the daily. Special teams matters. It absolutely matters. So if you are on special teams right now, you matter. If you are trying to get on the field, special teams is the way to do it. Special teams matters, people. Special teams, special players, special plays. It matters, people. But yeah, shout out to Indiana. They put on for Indiana. And wait a minute, we have to talk about something as far as the Indiana shit goes. I'm a Notre Dame fan. I grew up a Notre Dame fan. Why would I root for Indiana? I'm genuinely asking this because some of y'all was getting out of character when I was telling y'all, no, I don't care if Indiana wins. No, I don't have that much state pride. I don't have state pride. I root for the Pacers and I root for Notre Dame. I don't have to give a fuck about the rest of the state. Not to mention, IU had barely the good majority of their roster aren't from IU. Shout out to Omar Cooper. That's an Indianapolis guy. Always gonna root for him. But the rest of their damn roster is not from Indiana. Why would I care? Why would I care? I had somebody come up to me in my comments and was like, "You're from Indiana. Why wouldn't you root for Indiana? Why wouldn't you care about Indiana's story?" Because I'm a Notre Dame fan. I grew up in South Bend. Why would I care about Indiana? Uh, uh, you see how that makes no sense? You know what I mean? I have no allegiance to Indiana. I have allegiance to Notre Dame. Like, why would I root for Indiana when I grew up in South Bend? I have no ties to Bloomington. The only tie I have to Bloomington is the fact that my frat was founded there. But even then, that is the school itself. Why do I got to care about the football team, the basketball team? Why? I don't care. But some of y'all y'all get hell bent on that. It don't make no sense. It don't. But regardless, shout out to IU. Y'all won it. Y'all got it done. Y'all did y'all thing. Y'all won a national championship. First one in school history. First one in school history. That's huge. Huge. That's huge, man. But boom. Let's go ahead and move to the next segment. Let's talk. It's conference championship weekend in the NFL. Denver Broncos versus the Patriots. We have the Seahawks versus the Rams. Oh my God. The AFC matchup, I don't know. I don't have a lot of faith in Jarrett Stidham. I don't. The Broncos, our defense is really good, but we're talking about a Patriots team that is clicking on all cylinders. Drake May's playing well. They got Stephon Diggs back. No distractions with him anymore. Diggs is playing great. Yeah, the rest of the team playing great. Yeah, I don't know. If the Broncos win this with Jarrett Stidham, it'd have to be an all-time collapse from the Patriots. Drake May is going to have to throw a couple picks. You know what I'm saying? The defense is just going to have to crumble. You know what I mean? It's hard not to root for not root for the Patriots. It's hard not to say the Patriots will win this game solely because of the fact that, dude, the Broncos injuries, man. It sucks that they got their starting quarterback injured in the divisional round against a team that, you know what I'm saying? It's a physical ball game. But the Patriots they're looking good, man. I don't know. The Patriots are looking great. Run game is working. Henderson, Stevenson, guys, that O-line is crazy. Will Campbell at the right tackle, man, dude, that Patriots team, it's looking really damn good, man. Drake May's playing at a great level. MVP candidate, I don't think he'll win the MVP. I think Stafford will win the MVP. Because if we move over to the NFC, that's a heavyweight matchup, though. That's a heavyweight matchup. NFC West, the best division in football. Go Cardinals. Hey, all I'm saying. NFC West got 3 teams in the playoffs. The Cardinals are holding them back a little bit. 3 teams in the playoffs. 2 of them are in the conference chip. Yeah. But Rams versus Seahawks. That Rams defense is nasty. That Seahawks secondary is nasty. It all comes down to which quarterback makes the mistakes, and I trust Stafford to not make many mistakes, especially with Devontae Adams, with Puka Nacua. Puka Nacua's been playing out of his mind. Oh, my goodness, he's been playing out of his mind. Devontae Adams, ooh-wee! The O-line's looking great. Kyron Williams, the Notre Dame guy, they're playing great. But the Seahawks, man, they're dynamic, man. They got a lot of speed on the outside. Jackson Smith and Jigba. Cooper Kupp. Yeah. Boy. Then you got, Rashid Shaheed too. Dude, this would be a heavyweight matchup. I genuinely don't know who's going to win this game. I don't know who's going to win that game. They played each other twice this season. I'm not sure. Wait, who won the earlier matchups? Who won the earlier matchups? Regardless, yeah, this is going to be a great game. I expect a high-scoring game, but I expect a lot of sacks in this game. Both of these D-lines are really damn good. But that Seahawks secondary is hard. That Seahawks secondary is hard to overlook, to overcome. That Seahawks secondary is good as fuck. Love, Woolen, like, bro, I might be leaning Seahawks solely because that pass game is going to be on lockups. Might be leaning Seahawks. I don't know. But very excited about that game. I ain't gonna lie. The NFL playoffs as a whole has been very good this year. I feel like it's been a lot of one-score games. It's been a lot of OT games. It's been a lot of crazy shit that's going on, right? My God, there's been a lot of crazy shit going on, man. Especially on the NFC side. I think whoever wins the NFC is going to win the Super Bowl. I think whoever wins the NFC is going to win the Super Bowl. I think whoever is able. Yeah, no, I just think the NFC is just a better conference. Patriots look good, to which I think they'll win the AFC Championship. But the NFC this year, man, gods, oh my goodness, bro. Those guys are playing out of their mind, man. It's crazy, man. It is. Yeah, I'm going NFC, man. I don't know, man. Sorry, I muted my mic for a second. I apologize. But no, NFC, NFC is looking like they're gonna win it all. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's hard to deny that. It's hard to be like, yes, the NFC is not better than the AFC. Because they are, man. The Rams and the Seahawks are a better team than the Patriots. And I think the Patriots, like I said, I think the Patriots are gonna win. Both of those teams are better than the Patriots. I think Stafford's the best quarterback left. I think, yeah, like it's yeah. It's looking good, man. It's looking very good. But it's enough for the NFL, man. It's enough for the NFL. Those games are going to be cinema, though. I'm very excited. Let's talk narratives, though. Let's talk, man. There's been a lot of bullshit going on in the NFL, man. First things first. When are we going to stop coddling Josh Allen? When are we going to stop acting like Josh Allen does everything right? When are we going to stop acting like Josh Allen is the most perfect quarterback ever? When are we going to stop acting like Josh Allen has never made a mistake? When are we going to stop acting like Josh Allen is immune to mistakes? When are we going to stop acting like that? Because the way the media coddled him, this past week, Dan Orlovsky, oh my God, you should be ashamed of yourself. They coddled the hell out of him, man. Josh Allen fumbles. Lineman doesn't pick it up. The lineman gets blamed? How? Mind you, Josh Allen had 4 turnovers, 2 interceptions, 2 fumbles. If that loss wasn't on him, who the fuck wasn't it on? Like that's my question. If that loss wasn't on him, who was it on? And my question is, again, you ridicule Lamar Jackson for not even making the playoffs, even though the game The game came down to, quite literally came down to him. He scored. The Steelers went down, kicked the field goal to win the game. Played a great game, too. You ridicule Jalen Hurts. He got all the brunt. CJ Stroud threw 4 interceptions. He got everything, right? But Josh Allen gets a slap on the wrist. His team is just so bad. No Lamar, no Burrow, no Mahomes, nobody else to worry about in this damn playoffs. He lost to the Broncos, dog. I'm not gonna coddle him. I'm not gonna sit here and act like what he's doing is just he does no wrong, because that's not true, man. That's not true at all. I'm waiting on the day that Josh Allen stops getting coddled. I'm waiting on the day that people stop acting like he's the best thing since sliced toast. And then for him to be in the MVP race? Oh, no. What are we doing? Why is Josh Allen in the MVP race? And I don't want to hear no bullshit like, oh, he's a bit. No. He wasn't an MVP caliber QB this year. I can say that. We can say that about May. We can say that about Stafford. Josh Allen wasn't MVP caliber this year. He wasn't. I don't care, man. You already gave him a here damn MVP last year because he shouldn't have won it last year. Stafford should win the MVP. Stafford should absolutely win an MVP. If Stafford doesn't win the MVP, my goodness, we have some serious things going on. If Stafford doesn't win the MVP, if Josh Allen even touches the MVP, if Josh Allen even gets top 2 in voting, we have some shit going on. We have some shit going on. If Josh Allen even sniffs an MVP, to which he's looking like he's about to, we have some narratives that, we have some dangerous conversations we're going to have about the NFL, about the no fun league. Because what? What are we talking about, man? Oh my goodness, man. Maybe one day we'll get to the point. Maybe one day we'll get to the point that we can stop coddling this man and treat him like every other quarterback in the league. Because no other quarterback gets the treatment he does. No other quarterback is getting that whole, this team is the problem, not him. No other quarterback gets that. No other quarterback gets the excuses that Josh Allen does. Josh Allen gets more excuses than a 5-year-old child who doesn't want to eat his vegetables. Josh Allen gets more excuses than a 5-year-old child that doesn't want to eat his vegetables. Like, what are we talking about, man? Stop coddling him like he's 5 years old, man. That's a grown-ass man, bro. It's a grown-ass man, bro. But you don't have to agree with every take. Just trust me. Just trust Troupey. Just trust the process, man. Just trust the process, man. But I really hope we get a good Super Bowl this year. I'm not gonna lie to you. I hope we get a good matchup. I do, like I said, I think the NFC is gonna win. I hope we get a good Super Bowl. I hope we get a good matchup, because last year's Super Bowl was very disappointing. And I'm gonna be the one to say it. I wanted the Chiefs to win last year. I did. Shoot me. Sorry. I wanted the Chiefs to win last year. I'm the type of player. I'm the type of football watcher. I can't deny greatness. I can't deny greatness unless it's something clearly not great. So when people are telling me, you stop denying IU's greatness, fuck you. I can do whatever I want. As far as everything else goes, I'm not going to deny greatness. So when the Chiefs were winning last year, when the Chiefs were on fire, when the Chiefs were doing all of this, I 100%, 100% wanted them to win. I'm sorry, I did. I wanted them to win. I was a big fan of Trent McDuffie, best corner in the league last year. Yeah, I wanted them to win. But that's the thing. I guess I can't say I can't deny greatness because I definitely was hate watching the Patriots when they I was hate watching the hell out of the Patriots. I can't even lie to you when they were winning. But regardless, let's go ahead and move segments. Let's talk coverages for football, man. I got a great question from somebody in my comments last week that said, "Hey, can you please explain the difference between man, zone, and match coverage?" Right? Absolutely, I can. Right? Obviously, let's start with man coverage. Man coverage is your simple man to man. You follow wherever he goes. He goes to the bathroom. You follow his ass. You wipe his ass. Right? He goes to take a shit, you wipe his ass, right? He goes to brush his teeth, you brush them for him. Like, but that's man-to-man coverage. You follow him wherever he goes, right? That's simple enough. You can run a bunch of different stunts and blitzes out of man coverage because you know it's man-to-man. Possibly the ball's going to tip up as long as you're in the right area. You know what I'm saying? Man-to-man coverage is the most basic of the coverage because it's not much you have to explain with that. Man-to-man coverage comes down to cornerback technique, safety alignment, all of that. You have those things, you're going to be good in man coverage, right? But zone coverage is where things get a little bit tricky to explain, I'd say, right? Because people think zone coverage is defensive backs, linebackers sitting in one area just waiting for the ball to come. No, zone coverage is all about landmarks, man. Rather than focusing on one specific offensive player, it's about landmarks. In cover 3, a corner's landmarks are from hash to sideline. Nothing gets behind them, but nothing in their zone can get thrown to. So let's just say you have a concept, right? You have a fade corner concept. I don't know why you would run that concept, but you have a receiver that run the fade. You have to stay over top of the fade. But if you see a corner route coming from the slot, that is also your zone. That is also your zone. My coach used to make an emphasis. Zone coverage is not for you to sit there and be pretty. Zone coverage is for you to drive the football. If you are not driving the football in zone coverage, you might as well just not play football at all. You might as well just not play coverage at all. Zone coverage is about driving the football. Zone coverage is supposed to be a coverage you do to get takeaways. You want guys with instinctual ability to go drive the football, to know when the ball is coming out. Your head should be on a swivel at all times, right? But it is not about covering one specific zone. It is about covering an area. It's about covering an area. Landmarks. When a safety is in a deep half, he has from the hash to the sideline or midfield to the sideline. And same with the other safety, midfield to the sideline. When a safety is covering middle third, that is everything in between the hashes, right? Everything in between the hashes. When a corner is in cover 2, yes, the flat is their number one priority. But everything within that 10-yard radius is also their priority. That also counts as the flat too, because you're the flat defender. Corners in cover 2 aren't supposed to sit in the flat. They're supposed to sink if there's nothing threatening them in the flat. Head on a swivel, watching quarterbacks upfield shoulder, watching whether he's patting the ball, whether he's throwing the ball. That shit matters in zone coverage, people. Zone coverage is not a coverage for you to just sit back and allow things to happen. If you are getting beat in cover 3 as a corner over top, then you're playing zone coverage wrong. If you are getting beat as a safety over top in cover 2, then you're playing zone coverage wrong. Deepest of the deepest, but you also have to cover that zone. That's why zone coverage can't be explained simply. It can't. You need to be focused on everything within that zone, which makes match coverage 10 times harder to explain. Because match coverage can be man and zone based off of alignment, based off of receiver, everything. I'm going to tell you how I played it. In college, when we played match coverage, if it was 2x2, 2 receivers on each side, we had twins, right? You're reading the number 2 receiver. You're reading the slot receiver. If the slot receiver goes anywhere out 5 to 7, the cornerback is playing cover 2 zone. He is a flat defender. He is covering whatever. He is jumping that out route. He is jumping that, right? If that number 2 receiver goes past 7 yards, that is the safety's responsibility. And the corner has to snap to number 1 and play man coverage on number 1, on the number 1 receiver on the outside, right? It works in so many different ways, because you can have a 3-by-1. You have 3 receivers to a side. You trips, right? That number 2 receiver could go inside. Cornerback snaps their eyes to number 1. That's their man-on-man coverage right now, right? He passes that off to the linebacker, right? We can be 3-by-1. That number 2 receiver can bubble out. That corner has to trigger. That corner has to go get that bubble screen, right? Match coverage is the hybrid between man and zone. It's not zone coverage. It is match. It means if something is threatening your zone, it is based and dependent on whatever that number 2 receiver is doing. That's how most people play match coverage. It can be played in multiple different ways, obviously. But match coverage as a whole is nuance. It's paying attention. It's reading. We used to have to take read steps. 1, 2, go. Right? You see the number 2 receiver on a quick out. Oh my God, that should be pick 6. You need to go get that, right? You see a number 2 receiver go vertical, cool. Snap your eyes back to 1. Now we're in man coverage. Now we're playing man coverage, off man coverage, basically. Match coverage is not the same as zone coverage. Zone coverage is not the same as man coverage. Match coverage is neither man nor zone. It's man and zone. It's not man or zone. It's man and zone because you can play both on the same play. So that's why when people bring up things like I'm gonna bring up y'all's favorite narrative. JJ gets double team almost every play. There's always more than one person worried about him. That's not how match. It's maybe match coverage, cover 2. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what makes me think like a lot of y'all don't understand nuances of zone coverage of match coverage because you know you're gonna have an outside backer or a nickel. You're gonna have a high safety, and you're gonna have a corner, right? Right. What's the outside backer's job or the nickel's job in cover 3? Curl a flat. He not worried about JJ. He worried about anything in the curl to the flat. The corner's job in cover 3 is the deep third, man. JJ don't get doubled, man. He doesn't get doubled like y'all say he does. But y'all acting like this is new shit. But I think some of y'all just don't understand the nuances of coverages. I think some of y'all just don't understand that not everything has to be one or the other. It can be both. You can play man and zone in the same play. Yes. What? Shocker. Man and zone can be played in the same play. Crazy, right? I know, right? But regardless, it's one of those things that you just look at. You got to look at coverages with a clear mind because none of it is as simple as it's said. Because even the simplest of them all, man coverage, right? It's just so many things that have to go right. You need your D-line to be dogs to play man coverage. You need your D-line to get home. You need your linebackers to be able to run stunts. You need your linebackers to be able to cover sometimes. Safeties have to be able to cover. When playing man coverage, when I'm talking like, dude, 1-0, when you're playing cover 1, cover 0, people got to be able to coverage. You got to get to the quarterback. Nothing's ever simple in football. When you're playing zone coverage, when you're playing cover 3, 1, your D-line still has to get home. No corner is ever going to be good covering for more than 5 seconds. Because that's where things happen. That's where broken plays happen. That's where bad things happen within the play, right? No corner is ever going to be good. Ever going to be good covering for more than 5 seconds. It's just straight like that. But I'm hoping that maybe one day we'll look at football from a broader perspective than what it's looked at today. Because people look at it from the simplest of perspectives, right? People look at football from every perspective except for the correct one, right? Right? You know what I mean? Like, we're looking at football from every perspective except for the correct one. We're looking at football from the fact that, oh, that guy got beat. He sucks. What? My favorite narrative when it comes to fans is them trying to tell somebody they suck based off of the game they played, not understanding that the game they played, that everything around the game they played wasn't a bad game. It was just the fact that the things that they were covering, the things that they were going through was hard. You know what I mean? For example, Ethan O'Connor, cornerback for Miami, was getting jawned on. Oh my God, everybody was on his ass. He sucks at corner. Oh my God, he's horrible. Dude, I want people to try and guard a back shoulder fade. I want people to try and guard a back shoulder fade consistently. I want people to try and guard a back shoulder fade, right? Yes, Frederick did a solid job against it. But even then, that don't make it any easier, man. The back shoulder fade is one of the hardest routes to cover in football, man. Because it's not just about, getting contact, flipping your hip. I seen somebody in the comments that said, all you got to do is get contact and flip your hips. No, it's not that simple. It ain't that simple. If it was that simple, everybody could guard it. So I need some of y'all to shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't. You trying to tell this young college kid who worked his whole life at this position how to play the position he's playing is blasphemy. And I think fans who do that are insane, because fans will have no further knowledge on what the hell they're watching, yet they have knowledge enough to critique somebody? Bullshit. Shut that up. Nobody, and I mean nobody, wants to hear your input or opinion on what he should have or shouldn't have done. Nobody wants to hear it. Nobody wants to hear it because you're not qualified to tell that. You're not qualified to tell people what they should and shouldn't be doing on the field. Man, you've been sitting around like molasses for the last 30 years talking about, nah, bro, this is how it's supposed to be. Man, I always tell people this. If you ain't play football in college, you shouldn't be telling a college player what the hell he shouldn't be doing. And even then, there's nuances to that too. Man, somebody out here talking about we can always critique. That's the problem. Yeah, you could critique, but critique the right shit. You never critique the right thing. It's always something that's wrong as hell. I noticed the people that ain't never played football that try to critique football, that try to critique things that people do wrong in football, especially at the corner position, ain't never touched the fucking football. Ain't never played high level football, right? And this is no shot to nobody, because it's hard to get to these levels, right? It's hard to get to a level of football, to get to this level of football, to get to college football. It's not easy, right? But sometimes some of y'all be saying shit as if football is just easy to just no, it's not. Some of y'all just not built to be talking about football. Some of y'all are not built to be arguing about football, quite frankly. And here's another thing. When fans talk about football, in a way of, how do I explain this? When fans talk about football in a way of tearing in a way of tearing people down, in a way of acting like it's so simple, I laugh. Because I know a good majority of them couldn't tell me where the A gap is. I do. I genuinely laugh. I'm like, you know a lot about telling somebody what the hell they should and shouldn't be doing. Point me to the two hole right now. Point me to the two hole. Show me where the running back went wrong on this play. You know what I mean? Like, how often do we have like fans come out and be weirdos? You know what I mean? I seen an interaction on Twitter, right? Somebody came out and said, hey, D'Angelo Pons was unstoppable. And he didn't get beat, right? He didn't get beat once throughout the playoffs, right? Or the postseason or whatever. So there was a guy, I'm not going to say names, but there was a guy who was like, here's a cut up of 57 seconds of D'Angelo Pons getting beat, right? Here's a cut up of D'Angelo Pons getting beat. And it was a cut up of him getting beat on like simple stuff, right? Simple stuff. I'm talking like cover three, he's getting beat over top. You know what I mean? Like, but like he wasn't saying he wasn't saying that he wasn't saying that D'Angelo Pond sucked at football, but he was just trying to give the narrative out there that okay, he's a great corner, but he wasn't flawless. The amount of people that came for his neck, talk about you don't know what you're talking about. You can't tell me what zone coverage is. Mind you, again, that's why I explained zone coverage to y'all. Zone coverage is not just something you just sit in the zone. If you're getting beat in cover three, you're doing something wrong. If you're getting beat over top in cover three, if you're not playing deepest of the deepest in cover three, you're doing something wrong. And they crucified him. They was asking for his real name. They was like, oh, I need your full government name. Some of y'all fans are weird. Some of y'all fans are weird. I'm telling you, some of y'all fans are weird as fuck. Some of y'all fans are parasocial as fuck too. Some of y'all fans will get on here. Like I've had many of interactions of people talking to me wild. Because I didn't root for their team, right? Wild, man. And my thing is like I love football. I love football to the point that I want to make a career out of football. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's coaching, whether it's a football influencer, to which I'm doing now. But some of y'all be doing the most. Some of y'all do a lot of bullshit. Some of y'all do a lot of crazy shit just because you feel obligated to. Man, ain't no football game should ever take you out of calling somebody out of their name. Should ever take you out of threatening somebody personally. Come on, man. And the people that do that shit, y'all are not cool people. Y'all are weirdos. You can have allegiance to your team all you want, right? You have allegiance to whatever you want your team to be, right? But come on, man. Never in your life should you be looking up personal information about people. Never in your life. If you're looking up personal information about people and using that against them in an argument, you lost an argument. You lost the argument. You lost the argument. Don't just say wrong shit on the internet and then talk about rage bait. Like some of y'all be weird with that too. I don't know, man. There's a lot of things that go on with football fans that we could talk forever about, literally. Cause some of y'all don't know the fine line between real life and football. Y'all don't know the fine line between the two. Keep it football. Like the whole Fletcher situation, man. With Tucker and Fletcher after the national championship, the amount of people that were questioning his character and saying he's gonna drop in the draft and this, that, and the third or whatever. I somebody call him a thug. That shit is ridiculous, man. You don't know this kid. You don't know this boy. You don't know what happened. You don't know what happened, man. So why in the fuck would you sit there and try to question who he is as a person? And y'all do that a lot with black athletes, though. We're going to call a spade a spade. Y'all do that a lot with black athletes. Y'all try to act like their character is this, that, and the third. Yet, he's never shown signs of acting like this. He's never shown signs of being like that. He's never shown signs of acting like how you want him to act. That shit is ridiculous, man. My favorite is when people say you need to be more humble. I'm going to say this in the most disrespectful way I can. The only people that call out other people for not being humble are those without confidence. Let's keep it a stack. I got to be humble for you. Who are you to me? Why must I be humble to you? We do this with a lot of athletes in the NFL, in college or whatever. Diego Pavia lost the Heisman race. He went out, he did some kid shit. He did some shit. He went out, he said, nah, fuck that. I should have won. What is he supposed to say? Yes, he should have won over me. No, if I believe I should have won, then I'm going to say I should have won. Hey, bro, there was a bunch of people that are out here that were talking about, this is why he didn't win the Heisman. He's not humble. Again, why must I be humble for you? Being humble Being humble is for those that don't work hard enough. I'm sorry, because if I worked hard enough, I'm going to talk my shit. If I worked for the opportunity that I got, why would I sit there and be humble? Why do I gotta be humble for you? Who are you to me? Right? And this is not me saying that you need to go out there and act like an asshole. But me talking about my journey and me saying how I got here and me saying I'm proud of what I've done and that what I did was hard and what I did was going to be hard and you can't replicate that. That's not me not being humble. That's me being confident in what I just did. What I just did was something crazy. What I just did was something that I'm proud as fuck of. Why must I be humble for you? Why are you one to tell me how humble I shouldn't be? Right? And that's the worst part about this shit. Is y'all will confuse humility. Y'all will confuse humility with weird narratives. And y'all only preach this to certain type of athletes. I'm not gonna say what type of athletes it is, but y'all preach this to certain type of athletes. Y'all only do it for certain type of athletes. I ain't never heard somebody say that Baker Mayfield needs to be fucking humble. I ain't never heard that. Jackson Dart has to be humble. Get the fuck out of here. Like, come on, man. Some of y'all be bullshitting, man. Some of y'all fans be bullshitting, man. But let's go ahead and move on. I got some viewer questions. Every week, I'm going to send out a prompt. Viewer questions. If you want your question answered on the podcast, send it in. I got you. Question 1. This one's funny. I ain't gonna lie. Shout out to my boy Raymond. He asked, have you ever not wore drawers with your girdle in football? I'm not gonna lie, Raymond. This is nasty work. Free balling your girdle is crazy. Free balling the girdle is crazy. I have a strong feeling that a lot of y'all are going to say y'all free ball your girdles. That's disgusting. That's nasty. I always wear drawers. There might be compression drawers, but I always wear drawers. Come on now. Free balling the girdle is insane. I'm sorry. I'm gonna put a poll up on the podcast episode. You ever free ball your? Hey, bruh. I don't know. Me personally, I need compression down there. If I don't have compression down there, then hey, I can't do it, man. I can't do it. Let's just say that. No, I have never not worn drawers with my girdle. That's a ridiculous. Hey, shout out to Raymond for that question, but that's ridiculous. No, I've never not worn drawers with my girdle. That's crazy. Next question from Reed. Where will Notre Dame be ranked for the preseason top 25? Me personally, I think they'll be in the top 20. I think they'll be in the top 5. My bad. Top 5, I think they should be top 3, but I got to keep it generous here. Top 5, I think will be either 4 or 3. It's hard not to deny what Notre Dame has coming back next season. It's hard not to deny. It's hard not to deny. It's hard not to deny what Notre Dame has coming back next season. It's hard not to deny the talent they have coming back, the talent they brought in the portal. It's hard not to deny that. I think my top 5 is probably, honestly, the way Miami looking, the way Notre Dame looking. I'm gonna go. Ooh, boy. Okay, here we go. I'll go at number 1. I'll go Texas. Bring back a quarterback that played better throughout the season. They picked up some crazy pieces. Cam Coleman in the portal is crazy, a crazy pickup. They've been killing it. At number 2, I'm going to go Miami. I think Miami does have a lot coming back. 100%. Number 3, I'm going to go Notre Dame. And number 4, I'm going to go. At number 4, I'm going to go Georgia. No, Oregon. My bad. I'll go Oregon at number 4. Number 5, I'll go IU. But like, if we're going based off of like who won the Natty, IU and Miami be number 1, number 2. I don't see IU being as dominant as they were this year. I think they still have some great pieces, but they graduate a lot. They have a lot of guys leaving. And yes, Cignetti's a great coach. I 100% think he's going to have this team in prime position to be another contender. But I gotta see what those guys are capable of before I make a claim about them. You know what I'm saying? So I think Notre Dame should be ranked anywhere from 3 to 4. 3 to 4, 100%. All right. Oh, this is a good one from my boy King. What's the softest position you think in football? The softest position in football is receiver. It's receiver. A bunch of prima donnas that cry and whine about every little thing that's going on. They don't like to get touched. They don't like to get tackled. They do all this dancing on the field. The softest position on the field is receiver. Now, this is not me calling every single receiver soft. I'm saying the receiver position as a whole is soft as hell. Oh my God. Yes, I think kickers are tougher than receivers. Now I'm biased. I'm a DB. I've had to guard this position my whole life. I've seen how they operate. I've seen how they go about the game. Ugh. Receiver is the softest position on the field. And I don't think it's close. I don't think it's close. It's receiver then kicker. Receiver is the softest position on the field. Them motherfuckers will whine and complain about every single thing. They will whine and complain about every single thing. I'm talking everything. Everything they will whine and complain about. There is not a time that I haven't seen a receiver whine or complain. Dude, that's a foul, Red. That's a penalty. Play ball. Play ball, man. They complain about everything, bro. Everything. Receiver is the softest position on the field, 100%. Okay. Who are my top 5 corners in the NFL right now? Oh, boy. All right. Here we go. Number 1, Pat Surtain, Defensive Player of the Year last year. Not even close. Pat Surtain's number 1. At number 2. At number 2, I'm going to. Okay. I got to make this so it's a good clip, right? Okay. Pat Surtain's number 1. I think he's the best cover corner in football right now. Cool. Number 2, I'm going J.C. Horn. J.C. Horn has had the biggest growth of any corner in the NFL right now. 100%. Number 3, Christian Gonzalez. Gonzo can cover his ass off. Oh, he can cover he can cover, bro. That boy can cover. Number 4, Tariq Woolen. Tariq Woolen is a lanky, rangy corner. That motherfucker is nice. And number 5, I'm going Sauce Gardner. Those are my top 5 corners in the NFL right now. Number 1, Pat Surtain. Number 2, J.C. Horn. Number 3, Christian Gonzalez. Number 4, Tariq Woolen. Number 5, who did I say number 5? At number 5, I'm going. Why am I blanking? Oh, my bad. I'm so sorry, y'all. At number 5, I said, I just said his name, Sauce Gardner. Jesus Christ. My bad. We got to get a good clip here. Number 1, the top 5 corners in the NFL right now are number 1, Pat Surtain. Number 2, J.C. Horn. Number 3, Tariq Woolen. Number 4, I messed it up again. Oh my God. The top 5 corners in the NFL today are number 1, Pat Surtain. Number 2, we have J.C. Horn. At number 3, we have Christian Gonzalez. At number 4, we have Tariq Woolen. And number 5, we have Sauce Gardner. There we go. Okay. There are other corners that are obviously can be considered in this list. Those are just my top 5 that I've watched all year that I think have played out of their mind this season. Mind-blowing. Have played out of their mind this season. I messed up that clip 4 times, guys. That was bad. But let's get a couple more questions in before we close out. Okay. Somebody said, you can argue that corner isn't the hardest position to play. It is one of the hardest, but QB is the hardest. Why is my statement correct? I can't get with you on that. Corner is the hardest position on the field. Quarterback mentally is one of the hardest. I think it's second. You know what I'm saying? Quarterback's hard. Don't get that shit twisted. The mental capacity you have to go through as a quarterback, reading the field from a flat ground, that's not easy. It's not. But corner, you're doing everything backwards. You're guarding the fastest people on the field backwards. You're guarding the fastest people on the field backwards. You have to have technique. You have to, like, the thing is as a corner, one good play can make you a great corner. One bad play can make you the worst corner in the world. Not to mention, that next play mentality is real with the corners, man. If you get up and get beat on a play, you have to come back the next play. The corners are the difference between touchdowns and not touchdowns. Like, dude, that's the difference. Corners are the difference in that. Corner is the hardest position in sports. The hardest thing to play in sports is corner. I'm taking corner over a batter. I'm taking corner over wrestling. I'm taking corner over everything. Corner is the hardest thing to do in sports. Does not compare. Quarterback is hard. Quarterback is difficult. Everything about the quarterback position is hard as hell. It's one of the hardest positions in sports. Lineman, one of the hardest positions in sports. Corner is the hardest position in sports. Point blank, period. Point blank, period. Okay. What's the best move for a D lineman, specifically a D tackle? Honestly, for a D tackle, that bull rush gonna get you somewhere every time. Because your D tackle's usually gonna be thick. They're gonna be, they're gonna be swole, you know what I'm saying? Bull rush is 100% gonna get you places as a D tackle. If you can shift a guard or a center's whole movement with a bull rush, you're gonna be a great D tackle. On the edges, I think a speed rush is just always gonna be there. The swing move always works. The spin move always works. Yeah, before a D tackle, that bull rush is bread and butter. That shit is moolah, money, fire. Yeah, that D tackle, that bull rush is different. Yeah. Okay. The next question from my guy Jared. I'm just playing. Bro, I keep muting my mic. Okay, next question from my guy Rob. Will the Broncos still win with Jared as their QB? No. It's hard to say they will. I'm sorry, they won't win. Stidham's a great quarterback. I've seen the narratives around him. Oh, he's primed and ready, dude. That Patriots defense is gonna they're gonna bleed him dry. That Patriots defense is they're going to eat him alive. They're going to. That Patriots defense is going to do an unfathomable things to him. Yeah, no. Yeah, that shit's gonna be rough. I think the Broncos are gonna lose. The Broncos defense will keep them in the game, but they'll end up losing. They won't win. But that was the end of episode 2 of the Trust Troupey Podcast. Be sure to look for all of the links on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, on YouTube, on all of these apps. Please follow the Trust Troupey Podcast on TikTok. Follow me on Instagram at ct.03 for clips. Follow and subscribe to the YouTube Troupey Whoopie, and follow and subscribe to both the Spotify and the Apple Podcast page. Weekly episodes, y'all know how it is. You ain't gotta like football, you ain't gotta love football, you ain't gotta be perfect at football. But one thing you can always rely on is Trust Troupey. Hope y'all have a great day, and I hope y'all enjoy your weekend.